What is going on, you guys? I have another quick episode for you today from the Isaiah Ashley show. That's the guy in the picture here. And then the episode title is I Secured the Perfect Bangkok Condo for Me. And then this happens. Condo hunting tips. I know this is going to be interesting, so let's hop into it.
Right now, I'm currently chilling at the Commons in Thang Lor. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, this is a pretty dope spot. It's kind of like a food hall, restaurant hall. There's like a bunch of different restaurants here. Great place to come relax and chill with your friends. During the day or even at night, it gets even busier. As you guys seen, there's live music going on right now. So just overall, just a cool spot to come check out if you live in Bangkok. There's two locations, one here, and then I will tag the other one, but I forget where the other one's located. Not too far from like Central World, maybe like 10 minutes from there. But yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk about, you guys see my last video where I was showing the condo tour and I was trying to find a condo and I ended up finding one at the line that I loved. So I was deciding between a 15K room and a 18K room, and I ended up...
I don't know if you saw that, but I think it was about $412 US and $500 US. And something worth mentioning is that's pretty common in terms of a US dollar amount for a condo, like a nice condo in Bangkok. And also, I think if you know someone who is Thai, you have a Thai friend or maybe a Thai girlfriend, something like that, you might be able to find a even better rate. Now, I know what you're thinking already. Well, 412, 500, that's good. Like maybe you live in the UK, Australia, US, Canada, etc., and you would do anything to escape the rent that you already have. So this is already pretty good. Well, what's even better is if you know Thai, if you have a Thai friend or a Thai girlfriend or any of those things, you can probably get some help in finding an even better deal. That's all I'm really saying, but let's keep going with the video.
In the bigger rooms, that was 35 square meters at 18K a month, but then I got it for 17. Super excited. Obviously posted the video. The video's done very well with the views and whatnot. The next morning I wake up to some news. My realtor, she messages me good morning with smiley faces. I'm just thinking she has more information to tell me, right? So that night before, I signed like reservation papers for the room and sent payment like 30 minutes later. Good to go, right? So I thought, until I get this text message. Yeah, so apparently the owner had a little bit of a confusion, a misunderstanding or whatever, and there was somebody who sent payment for the room like 5 minutes before I did. And I lost the room. Yeah, so...
And I watched the previous video. I'll give you the gist of it. He found a lot of places around that price range that we just talked about. And basically, he had a few places fall through because he was behind someone else, right? Like, so there's a lot of great condos you can find. And I mean, honestly, it'll be easy for you to find one. You're just going to be, there's a lot of other foreigners and people looking for that same condo because it's a great deal. So just keep that in mind while you're looking around to make a smart decision and also act as quickly as you can. Just be decisive.
That really, really disappointed me because my mind was set on getting the bigger room. So I ended up she messaged me and said, do you want to move the reservation to the smaller room at 15K? And in the moment, I'm just like, because I was in love with the place, like, I don't want to say I panicked, but I just kind of jumped the gun. And I said, yes, let's please go ahead and secure it ASAP. Even though I really no longer wanted that room. You know how like once your mind gets set on something, and that's really all you want after that? And the worst part about all this is before I seen the bigger room, my mind was like, I'll take the 15K room because I just love the place and the location. But once I seen the bigger room, the smaller room became a disappointment. And it's kind of like a life lesson in that, of contentment. But there's always something bigger and better out there.
And also just making a decision before someone, makes a decision for you, basically, right? Like, because you can tell he was just barely off timing-wise. Like, that other person beat him to it. And that's all it took, was that small bit of time.
So, yeah. So I ended up having to move my reservation down. The deposit, she moved it to that reservation, and it got confirmed. But there was another misunderstanding because I asked her, I was like, if during the time before I move in, because my moving date was 31st of this month, if before then a bigger room opens up, please let me know. Now, let me explain something to you guys so you guys can learn from my mistakes. So this video, I want to give you guys some condo tips and everything. It's going to help you if you're condo searching in Bangkok. But for now, we'll just kind of finish out my my story relating to me finding a condo. So this is my first time doing the reservation thing, because the prior contracts I've signed for condos is kind of like same day. I give full payment. That's full payment for a condo is basically 3x of the cost. So whatever it costs per month, you're paying 3x that to move in. That's 1 month advance and 2 months deposit. So that's what I've done. I just paid all that up front, so I didn't have to do no reservation thing, and just I would move in the next day. So with this one, I learned in Bangkok, so you reserve a condo, so everyone stops contacting, right? So now it's locked in, and then you figure out your moving date, and then you pay the rest before you move in. So I was new to the reservation thing, and I thought that if I just reserve a condo, that I had the ability to, if I change my mind, to back out of the deal. Apparently, it does not work that way. So. And I guess my, things get lost in language barrier, whatever, that my realtor was confused as to what I meant. So I ended up finding a bigger room, and I come to find out that my reservation, my 1 month deposit, is non-refundable. So that was like, oh man, that's disappointing. And then I just gave up. I gave up on the search. I was like, you know what? All right, fine. I'll just be okay with the smaller room. I'm overthinking it. But then I couldn't help but continue to look for a room. And I had given up hope and just accepted the fate of, all right, the small room. I was like, I don't want to waste money. I don't like wasting money like, anybody. So I was like, I've already paid this deposit. It's $400. Not a large amount of money, but it's like still like, it's kind of like I just threw it away. It's free money if I don't take the room. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to waste money. I'll just take it. But lo and behold, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and another room pops up for 16K. The bigger size room for 16,000 baht per month. And that's when my brain started twirling again. I'm like, you know what? Like, I would be willing to forfeit this $400 because I'm gonna live in this room for a year. I want it to be comfortable. I want to have some space. So I really wanted the extra space. So I'm like, you know what? I will forfeit the $400 to take this room. So guys, today I'm getting ready to go take a look. I've been in contact, and pretty much this next room is pretty much mine. I've already concluded that I'm okay with losing that $400 for sake of getting this room. Plus I'm getting it for 16,000. That is way below the going market rate. So I'm super excited about that. It's been ups and downs. And so kind of the lessons I want to give you guys for if you come condo searching in Bangkok is, one, don't make my mistake of jumping the gun. Understand that if you pay a reservation fee, it is non-refundable. So only pay that.
Well, that's a really good point. I mean, even just in terms of like interactions with people in general, right? Like whether it's something with a friend, family, relationship, you're dating, sales, business negotiations, there's no need to jump the gun, right? Making an emotional decision and acting on impulse too quickly, oftentimes, emotional decision, it's probably not going to be the logical decision later, right? And you're just going to be, or you might be in a situation like this where you're sort of regretting it, like you said something you didn't mean, or you acted too fast. And like, one of the most powerful things you can do in interactions like these is be willing to walk away and have options, like the ability to obtain a new option, even if you don't have a current one, right? So there are literally, the funny part about this, right, and I'm sure he realizes it in retrospect, is there are literally so many amazing apartment buildings and condos in and around Bangkok. It doesn't have to be in the city center. It could be, a few BTS stops away. By the way, the BTS is the Bangkok SkyTrain. Amazing, super fast. You don't need a car in the city. It's perfect. It's like $1 for a ride. So recommend checking that out if you go. And I that's one of the most interesting parts about that, right? Is there's so many apartments and condos that are really high quality around the city that there's no need to make an emotional decision about it. Like, oh, I got to have this one, right? Because there's literally another one right around the corner. But let's keep watching the video.
Once you've literally, you're 100% sure that's the condo you want to live in. So that's one piece of advice right there. Number two, my food is here. Let me show you guys. We got some chicken wing action going on here with the ranch. Take a bite of that in a second. But, so that's one thing, guys. Don't jump the gun. There's always new rooms coming up and coming available. So I was just too anxious, and I made that mistake. So you guys don't have to make the same mistake. Now, when it comes to finding a room, one of my other big pieces of advice is put multiple realtors to work. Now, I personally did a lot of the research work with finding my condo using Property Hub Thailand. So you can just find that with their website, and also Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups. Use those. Message listings that you're interested in. Use that website to find condo projects and the amenities you're looking for, and put multiple realtors to work, because when one person tells you, okay, oh, this room is not available, or or you can't find it at this price, another person can. That's just what I've learned. I've had multiple realtors tell me that, you know, finding another room at that place at that size that I wanted 35 square meters was impossible with the current market rates. And yet I'm about to lock in a room for 16,000. Also found multiple ones for 18,000. So when someone else tells you no, you just find someone who will tell you yes and who will do the search for you. But I did a lot of the work on my own so I can find the condo I wanted. So that's another piece of advice, is just those are your resources to look for a condo. And there's so many projects in Bangkok, don't overwhelm yourself. You know, try to look at between maybe 2 to 5, I would say actually 3 to 5 condo projects within your budget range and make a decision. But, you know, if the whole amenities things, you know, sky lounges, pools, gyms, that's kind of like the standard in Bangkok when it comes to like luxury condos. So there's so many of them. The next thing I notice with a lot of Westerners when they watch these condo videos is the concern about the space. And I know a lot of you guys are saying like, oh, box apartments.
And it's always a nice, like, I forget what they're called, like a infinity pool. Yeah, infinity pool where it's like it's overlooking the skyline of Bangkok. Always great. Like a lot of these condos have those. A gym, you know, like a decent gym, so you don't need to go pay for another one. You can if you want, but honestly, you could probably do everything you need there. So you don't even need to leave your building. And everything's so convenient in Bangkok. Like, especially what I told you about, the Sky Train, you know, it's the above ground subway, $1 per ride. And it brings you to any grocery store, any restaurant, any gym, anything that you could possibly want. There's something for everybody, and it's just so convenient. Probably one of the most convenient cities in the world. So, I mean, I recommend it for sure. I liked it a lot.
So they're like a box. But I want to point out one thing right here. I'm going to show you guys a clip of some of the apartments that people are paying to live in New York City, right? And so Bangkok is a New York city of Thailand. Of Thailand.
2K in New York. Or 2K plus. Pretty small. Same for LA, basically.
If you had to guess how much this place was, what would you say? We are at 316 West 14th Street. We're at the borderline between Chelsea and the West Village. But if you want to have guests over, you have to leave a chair outside.
And people are living in smaller condos that offer way less amenities and benefits and also cost 3 to 4 times more. So when you guys are trying to compare, you know, Bangkok to random nowhere cities in the U.S., it makes no sense. Compare apples to apples. Compare Bangkok.
I think truthfully that's just the big coping mechanism when people are trying to compare like an apartment like that in New York or LA, San Francisco, whatever, to Bangkok. I mean, like, again, there's no comparison. You know, oranges to oranges, apples to apples. But I think it's a coping mechanism, right? Because it's usually a YouTube comment that's someone who realizes that they wish that they could get out, that they don't have a remote job or a remote skill, and they haven't worked on that yet. And this is not me judging them. This is me encouraging you. If you're watching this and that triggered you at all or that made you feel defensive, I'm encouraging you to learn a remote skill so you can do that if that's something you want to do. Instead of leaving a negative comment on YouTube and be like, well, that's why I'm going to make it work in Texas or whatever, right? It's like, or you could use the energy you use for that YouTube comment to build the skill set so you can get out and live an amazing lifestyle outside, abroad somewhere, wherever you want. Latin America, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe. There's a bunch of good spots. So I would just recommend focusing your energy in that direction so you can do less of the YouTube comment or YouTube commenting and more of the living an amazing life.
To New York. And so even with these smaller condos that are 28 square meters or 30 square meters, it's literally still more than you get at a way less price than what you...
I'm in your corner, by the way. I hope that came across there. I want you to start enjoying a really fulfilling situation here.
...would ever be able to get in the U.S. and live in a major city. So you guys need to think with some sense before you make kind of comments like that. But for you guys who are like considering moving to Bangkok and you want more space, yes, there are condos available that are, you know, that have more space. They could be in a range of, you know, 15,000 baht per month to 25,000 to 23. If you want like 65 square meters, 50 square meters, yes, it's available. Now, with that budget and then you want more space, typically what you get in exchange is you just get an older project, right? It's not going to be as new. You're not going to have as many amenities. It's not going to be as nice. But in exchange, you'll have the space you desire. Mm-hmm. So if that's what you guys are looking for, just tell your realtor, whoever you're working with, what you want, right? If what you're desiring is an amenity.
And by the way, the Bangkok, a lot of the condos, like there are like, you know, you could say a little bit smaller, but they're like perfect. I mean, I know everyone. There's some people who got lifestyle creep, right? Like they need a bigger spot. They've got all this stuff. What if, because basically what it creates is a situation where you have a really nice, decent sized apartment, not too big, not too small. You've got a kitchen, you've got all the amenities there, and if you need to leave for anything, it's easy, right? So like, it makes your life so much more simple instead of having a bunch of stuff and this place that you don't really need all that space in. You're just going to store more things, right? It's truthfully, I mean, in my experience, it was such a good experience as getting rid of so many of the things that I had and moving and being able to enjoy the space in that apartment. You know, you had room for your computer, your TV, your bed, your shower, like you had a kitchen you can cook in, right? You don't have to eat out if you don't want to, but eating out is, you know, if you're bringing the US dollar or the pound or anything over to Bangkok, like, I mean, you can eat out basically as much as you want, or you know, still cook in if you want. I cooked a lot when I was in Bangkok. So yeah, I mean, there's some way that you can make it work for all types, basically.
And the luxury life, then yes, typically you're gonna get a smaller apartment, either studio size, 28 square meters, 33 square meters, and you're just gonna be okay with that. But I think the amenities offset the smallest in the room, because really, at the end of the day, if I'm in my room, and most of the time I'm either sleeping or just chilling. So I realize I don't need a whole lot of space, but I also don't want to feel like I'm living in, you know, in a jail cell. Like I said, I could have been okay with the 28 square meters, but once it was set in my mind, I wanted the bigger one. I just had to get it. I had, you know, like once you want something, you just go get it. So anyway, guys, that's my main advice when it comes to condo shopping in Bangkok is look at multiple projects, put multiple realtors to work, and yeah, you know, don't jump the gun too soon just because you see a project that gets you excited, because there's so many available. Anyway, guys, I gotta enjoy this chicken before it gets cold, and then I'm gonna take you guys to see the new room at the same building, the Line Second Bit.
And by the way, it's worth mentioning because it was like Property Hub and Facebook Marketplace, just going through those and searching for a spot that way. Of course, you know, making sure to be safe with the, you know, the payments and all those things, right? Because I'm sure there's probably been some kind of circumstances somewhere where someone's like, oh, what, they got scammed. I'm not saying that for you to be fearful, because I think there's a lot of really amazing apartments that you can find on like Facebook Marketplace, for example. Property Hub might be a better one, and it might be more friendly, more Thai friendly. Farang is the word for foreigners in Thai, right? And sometimes certain places will try to give you the Farang or the foreigner price, but Thais like to negotiate. If you didn't know this, now you do. For food, for taxi, for rent, right? So if you know approximately what it's worth, which is why it's helpful to have a Thai friend or a Thai girlfriend or whatever, Thai realtor who's on your side, they can help you find the right price for everything, basically. So just keep that in mind here, because I mean, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or whatever else you're using, you can probably find the right deal for you and the right price as well.
101. All right, guys, so this is
440.
a new room.
Look at that.
Similar layout. Might be slightly smaller in size, maybe. I think the other one was 35, this is 33, but pretty much the same. A lot of cabinet space, fridge. So definitely appreciate the extra space over the 28 square meter room.
And by the way, versus your New York apartment, he's got a laundry machine in there. And it's usually nice enough in Bangkok that all you have to do is hang your clothes to dry them. So you got a washer. You don't need to go take it like in New York or somewhere else to a laundromat and go pay. You know, there's not like the paid laundry machines or the laundromat. They still have that, right? But like this place has it in there. So again, like $440 a month, and he's a single guy, or he's dating probably. So like this place is absolutely perfect for him. And even if he had a girlfriend, like this is a good place for them too, right? Like, so imagine like $440 a month, single, dating, or even having a girlfriend, and he's about to show maybe the bathroom and the bedroom. But I mean, honestly, like it'll teach you too to be, it's not about being more minimal. Like personally, I'm not the type of person who's like, I need all this stuff and I need the Gucci bag and the Balenciaga t-shirt with the holes in it and all that stuff. Like if you can learn to live like this. Like, because there's a person who's really wealthy who you can't tell that they're wealthy financially, right? And there's a person who's like insecure and they need validation by showing, like, oh, check out my Balenciaga t-shirt, you know, check out these whatever things that I'm wearing, this, you know, hypercar or whatever, right? Like I think you get my point. And so, like, a lot of wealthy people who know better, like, they don't need people's approval or the validation there. Like, they're just wearing like a plain white t-shirt, plain black t-shirt, jeans, plain sneakers. Like, you wouldn't even know, right? So I just want you to keep that in mind, because this is perfect, even if he has a partner too.
And then here is the bedroom on this cool platform. Nice big windows. That's a dope thing to have there. Drawer, more space here. Bathroom, and then got this cool closet. So yeah, I really love this place. All right, y'all. So the new place has a rooftop with 38 floors in the sky. Rooftop basketball court. Let's see if I sit right. Cut. Curry. Got you again.
There you go.
First try, y'all.
You having fun?
So that's it for now, guys. Just wanted to share a quick update on my condo process here in Bangkok. I know this information might be helpful to some people who are thinking about moving here soon, and so hopefully these tips will be useful for you. Want to share a bit of my frustrations. Obviously, life isn't always perfect, but I'm glad in the end I still ended up finding a room of the size that I desired. So guys, if you have any other questions about condos that I did not answer in this video, be sure to leave a comment below, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. And also, so you guys see that I ended up losing the deposit on the first room, but it's okay because I'm choosing to live there for 1 year, so I just wanted to have the best option. But anyway, guys, see you next video. Peace. Hey, real quick, I want to offer you something special.
Awesome, guys. Well, if you've been considering the remote work from home life, certain companies, they'll be a little bit stubborn, let's say, around like you can work remotely and they want you to work US hours specifically, for example, right? And so you have to be willing to either work the graveyard shift, which a lot of people are, right? Like, a lot of people just move to Bangkok and they just say, or you know, they move into a completely different time zone and they're okay with it, right? Because the trade-off is worth it to them. And if it's not, I mean, you can also just find another company or another place to work that allows like you to live in that time zone and work with them. Maybe something where you don't need to be awake for those US hours, right? Like, maybe it's not like sales or something, it's something a bit different, or someone that can work with you, right? Level with you. Because at the end of the day, like, this might be a good point and a side point to this whole video, is becoming less of an employee and more of a business, right? Like, treating yourself less like an applicant and more like a business. So similar to like if you were going out on dates, because a lot of people, for example, they go into an interview process and they don't have questions for the company or the interviewer. And I believe that's a bad move, because it's a golden opportunity for you to learn more about the company. And most people are scared to ask questions in the interview, right? And so they don't. They say, oh, no, I'm all good, thanks. And just wish and pray that the interview goes well. But you want to know if the company and the people are a good fit for you too, right? So you should be filtering and vetting for your job just as much as you're filtering and vetting for a great long-term partner, right? Or maybe a condo, right? So I hope this video helps you guys. If you like the content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.